Finland was initially in the pan, snug and comfy, albeit with roasted buttocks, when it was finally tossed outside. The pan was called Russia. Finland enjoyed the cool wind on its charred bum as it fell and fell and fell straight into the fire, which was called the USSR. Following its hard fought independence in 1917, Finland found itself in a precarious position bordering the newly formed Soviet Union. Relations between the two nations were strained from the outset, marked by suspicion and mistrust. The Soviet Union viewed Finland as a potential threat due to its proximity to Leningrad, now St. Petersburg, and its perceived ties to Western powers. Long before there was a Winter Soldier in the Marvel Universe, there took place the Winter War between 1939 1940, when the Soviet Union under Joseph Stalin launched a surprise invasion of Finland. Finland was forced to cede 11% of its territory to the Soviet Union in the Moscow Peace Treaty. Hangovers are often magically cured by a small little peg of neat whiskey in the morning. At least it does for me. Perhaps driven by this or some geopolitical misunderstanding, Finns started the continuation war, like continuation to the Winter War. You get the idea, right? That took place between 1941 and 1944. No one blames Finland for its Nazi roots, but Finland actually joined forces with Nazi Germany in their invasion of the Soviet Union. Initially motivated by a desire to regain lost territories, Finland's involvement in the war gradually shifted into a fight for its own survival as the tide turned against Germany. Finland sought to sue for peace with the Soviets. The resulting armistice in 1944 required Finland to cede further territory, pay war reparations, and expel German troops. Two wars, twice sliced. Bad. Very bad. The post war period saw Finland behaving itself. It walked a tightrope, balancing its desire for neutrality with the need to appease the Soviet Union. The Finns embraced a policy of Finlandization, which aimed to maintain good relations with the Soviets by avoiding any actions that could be perceived as hostile. This involved self censorship, restrictions on foreign policy, and doing absolutely nothing about communist activity within Finland. When the Soviet Union collapsed in 1991, Finland came out of the exile to declare its love for the West, hatred for Russia, and 200 other things, really, that no one really took note of. Finland now fully embraced its Western identity and pursued super deep integration with Europe. Cut to today's era. Finland remains a strong advocate for European security and cooperation. Cut to 2012. Ukrainian neo Nazis were beating the shit out of Russian ethnic minority in West Ukraine, which we better know as the Donbas region. Ukrainians, with the zeal of a fresh convert, wanted West Ukraine to be less Russi and more Yankee. But the Russis were tough, doing their own bombing picnics from time to time. You know, stuff like blowing Azov and their comrades to pieces. The wail of the hapless Russian minority of Donbas reached Putin's ears. He warned, then warned some more, and then opened his box of poison pills, gave it a hard stare, and then decided that guns will be better. So Russia invaded Ukraine in 2014, and Finnish government officials wore brown pants for days. They criticized without doing anything substantial because brown pants are better than fried bumps. Then came 2022, and Russia began the takeover of Donbass, and something snapped within Finland, fundamentally reshaping Finland's security landscape. prompting a historic shift in its stance. Then the kid started crying for candy, Finland being the kid and the candy being NATO membership. Finland switched to regular pants and abandoned its long held neutrality. In May 2023, Finland formally applied to join the alliance, marking a seismic shift in its foreign policy. Now, this was a little too much for Putin, who doesn't hate NATO, but hates NATO when it flashes in its face. Nice cultured guy, Putin. Finland deemed collective security under NATO's umbrella as essential for its national defense. Finland's accession to NATO was a heartache for Russia's geopolitical ambitions. The expansion of the alliance, particularly into a region long considered within Russia's sphere of influence, was a significant blow to Russia's pride. Then Finland kissed the most kissed man of the century. No, no, not the Pope, not Gandhi, clown man, Zelensky. It started sending messages of solidarity with Ukraine. Two wars, twice sliced, but then there is a thing called wanting for more. But there was more to come, of course, because you don't go to a restaurant just for starters. I do, but most don't. And Finland definitely did not. On November 1st, 2023, Finland and the US marked a significant milestone in their bilateral defense relationship by culminating the fifth round of negotiations for a defense cooperation agreement, DCA. This soon to be sealed agreement aims to establish a robust framework to further enhance the already deep security cooperation between the two nations, which are fancy words that talk about screwing Russia. The DCA is a tangible manifestation of the close partnership between the US and Finland, solidified by their shared commitment to transatlantic security. Again, you get the drift, right? As NATO allies, both countries recognize the need for enhanced collaboration to address evolving regional and global security challenges. LOL. So, what does this package contain? Number one, joint military exercises and training. US will train Finnish army to take on the Russies. And if they lose, more likely when they lose, the US will abandon them. Number two, defense equipment and technology collaboration. US will give cool guns to the Finnish army to take on the Russies, but they themselves won't fight them. Number three, intelligence sharing and threat assessment. The DCA will tell the Finnish army when and where to take on the Russies. If they lose, more likely when they lose, the US will, of course, abandon them and again will not fight the Russies themselves. Then there is cyber security cooperation, blah blah blah, commitment to green this, purple that, orange, blah blah blah. Anyway, the DCA is supposed to serve as a symbol of the unwavering commitment of the US and Finland to the security and stability of the Euro Atlantic region by working closely together. Both countries aim to deter aggression, promote peace and prosperity, and ensure a secure future for their citizens. This is so stupid. US is like 3 light years away from Russia. Finland is right next to them. What commitment, really? What commitment? The only commitment I see is more provocation. Another war. Thrice fought, thrice sliced. Mind numbingly stupid. So, what is Russia doing? No, Putin is not busy riding bare chested or poisoning his foes. I mean, he must be doing all that, but apart from that, he has a plan for Finland, and it is eerily similar to 2014, that is, the takeover of Crimea. There's already a refugee crisis at the Finnish border. Kremlin is now simply owning the refugees. Finland accused Russia of forcibly pushing hundreds of migrants and refugees towards the Finnish frontier and igniting a humanitarian crisis and potentially laying the groundwork for further escalation. I agree with Finland's assessment, except for the word potentially. Russia is laying the groundwork for further escalation. Finland has resorted to sealing its entire border with Russia. The European Union's border agency, Frontex, that makes borders no one recognizes, has recognized the sovereignty of the situation and pledged to deploy personnel to assist Finland in securing its border. Personnel like who? Toll tax collectors? DUI checkers? This world has gone bonkers. Absolutely bonkers. Russia is already madly popular among the Finnish populace. This move will definitely create divisions and weaken the national unity of Finnish folks. Finland's accession to NATO was a time bomb from the start, and as I mentioned earlier, Putin does not like people flashing in his face. Flash, but from a distance. The influx of refugees has already placed a significant strain on Finnish resources, and the situation has the potential to spiral out of control. Last heard, Germany and France were planning to, further isolate Russia on the world stage. Please, by all means, go ahead. The international community is being provoked by the US to stand united in condemning Russia's actions and offer its full support to Finland. I'm sure India, my country, will be the first one to react by buying more oil from Russia to oppose its aggression on the Finnish border. That's one way of opposing. It is still unclear how this situation will unfold, not to me, but to elite global analysts. I'm a know it all. I know what is going to happen. The Kremlin will continue its aggressive actions, escalating tensions with Finland and NATO. This will involve further hybrid warfare tactics, cyber attacks, or even direct military confrontation. In short, Finland has been Kremlinized. Kremlinized. Do you like the video? Please show your love in the comment section. Our reach is now lower than Finland's IQ, so please like, share, subscribe, and I love you all. Thank you.